就相信感情被我再来一天，随着都在提醒，安静的就知道。
Welcome back to Unconventional Asians, where we interview Asians who dare to be authentic. And today we have Daniel Park with us. He was an engineer and he turned a nomadic musician.
I guess I was kind of unconventional from the start. I was born in Korea, but I was adopted. I was brought to America, and along with two of my sisters, my parents, my adopted parents are interesting. They adopted 5 of us from Korea. My mom, she really likes culture. I equate her to a tiger mom. I think
Really?
I have to get good grades. We all practice violin in the morning before school, and so
Okay.
that's kind of how I started with music. I started around when I was 5 years old.
But your home is, well, I guess you're kind of
Well,
a
I guess
nomad.
I usually stay in Las Vegas because that's where I've been living technically the last
Okay.
6 or 7 years. Well,
Okay.
kind of on and off, because that's where I would be performing on the strip. But now that I've been traveling quite a bit. I have lots of friends all over the world now. Yeah, over the years, I kind of had this thought of like, how can I travel more? How can I
Mhm.
do the things I love more?
Yes, yes.
And part of that idea led me to realize that I need to understand my financial situation
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
a little bit better. And
Yeah.
so that had me lead to reading a bunch of financial books. Millennial Revolution really spoke to me. I think
Yeah.
partly because Christie's story, being in
Mm.
China and then being an engineer, and so like her
Yes.
story kind of equated to
Yes.
kind of how I
Right.
grew up a little bit. Yeah, they made it seem easy, and I think being Asian kind of like helped me like realize like, oh, I can do this too. And
Like, are you
sure,
kind of like doing the fire path then?
I'm pretty much following Millennial Revolution's
Mm.
path.
Strategy?
So
Yeah.
since then, I started just investing
Yeah.
in ETFs through Vanguard. I think they were doing a 60-40 split
Yeah.
on bonds,
Right.
and
Right.
I do more like a 80-20.
90-10.
My fine number is, I feel, still way off. I add a little bit of money every single day. So there's another book that I read. So he talks about if you look at your financials on a daily basis, if you break down your investments into a daily strategy, then it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it's kind of on your mind.
So I guess you into minimalism too then, in a way, because if you're traveling so much.
Right before I moved to Singapore, that was September 2018, I
Okay.
sold I sold everything I couldn't take with me, but I wanted to make sure if I wanted to travel more or
Yeah.
wanted to do anything after that,
Mm-hmm.
that that I didn't have stuff just
Mm-hmm.
like luring me back to
Yes.
the United
Yes.
States. I have a picture actually right before I left Singapore. I have my guitar. I have
Yeah.
one suitcase with my music equipment, one suitcase with clothes.
It makes you like so free though, right? Because technically
Oh,
then you can be anywhere.
it's very freeing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. That's why I can be in LA, or I
Mm-hmm.
just stay right now because I'm in a weird, funky situation. Like I'm still supposed to be in China. I can't go back. So right
Right.
now, that's why the live streaming has been
Mm.
good. I can still perform, but, and people just send me tips
Yeah.
over Venmo and stuff like that.
So would you think that you actually want to pivot a little bit and do more of that online? Because if that's like a way to make
Definitely,
income.
this has totally opened my mind and or like
Yeah.
gave me a lot more ideas about
Mm-hmm.
being anywhere in the world, but still performing and
Yeah.
doing tips. I would honestly, yeah, I would like to shift my focus to more online and
Yeah.
do that more. So yeah, I could be in Bali, or I could be in
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and still perform for the people that still like my
To
performances,
follow
but
you.
then
Yeah.
I don't have to be anywhere physically.
I like
So the
envy you. I
idea,
want to do that
what?
too. To be able to like make
Yeah.
income and just live anywhere, like that digital
Wow.
nomad life, it's so great.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like, I get to live in the hotel. It's free
Oh, that's
rent,
awesome. Yeah.
uh free meals and everything.
Wow.
Because I got to know the hotel managers and stuff like that. I usually got comped free drinks. So this is my contract pretty much, in a nutshell.
Mm.
I would perform 4 hours a night,
Okay.
6 nights a week,
Yeah.
and then it would be 30,000 yuan a month.
30,000 yuan.
So let's just say a little bit, 1,200 US a week. Free
That's the
like
thing.
nice
Yeah,
hotel food. This
I
isn't like
know.
continental breakfast. This is like really nice.
Wow.
This hotel was a high rise, so
Mm-hmm.
the main lobby was on the 63rd floor. So the rooms are underneath.
Mm.
So my room was on the 38th floor.
Wow.
But you get a nice view
Oh,
of Beijing from a financial standpoint. Yeah, I don't really have to spend any money.
okay, interesting. Hey, see, this
Yeah,
is why we bring people on to open our eyes to different opportunities because
yeah,
we've never,
opportunity. Would have
yeah,
thought of that,
imagined.
right? Depending on the agency, like they'll only pay you like half of that. If you enjoy the experience, then that's part of it too. And
That's it.
obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
on your day during the day, you can go explore, or you. I did one day off. There was times where I was able to ask for an extra day off, you know, and they just
Okay,
had
okay.
a local person fill in for me, so then I could go travel.
Like, do you have that like identity crisis a little bit?
But it's hard because I don't really feel myself as
Mm,
South Korean, you know, in a lot of
yeah,
ways. So
I see what you
it's
mean. Yeah,
because I just wasn't brought up
there.
culturally
Yeah.
Korean. I grew up with the identity crisis because like
Mm,
even though I looked Asian,
right.
I felt like white inside. I
Mm,
don't think I really found my true identity till after I quit my job and pursued music full time. So yeah, I was always interested in electronic. I had this idea where I was like, you know, I want to feel the music more. So like I taped the speakers to this lawn chair that we had, and so like it was like there's just like a plastic chair, you know. So like
right.
I could like drill into it and like added like the buttons and like the power button and whatever. And I think because of that, I really like the idea of engineering and like
Mm.
so I grew up with that too. Like I like to build things. I remember telling my mom I wanted to be a musician one time, and she had that look of like,
I'm gonna be a starving
you're
artist.
not, yeah, yeah. And
uh,
she didn't give me a lot of confidence that like I could
mm,
be a musician, you know. She's
mm-hmm,
like, well,
mm-hmm.
maybe you could go to school to be a music teacher, but
Ah,
music teachers don't make a lot of money. Maybe engineering would be a better idea. Right after college, I got a job for an engineering firm, which was like a military contractor. I would design and build circuit boards, like
right.
test circuit boards, and then we would put those test boards into production. I'd say it was fun and interesting for
Mm-hmm.
maybe about a year. What's tough is like being right out of college and like and then you're with people that are 20, 30 years older than me
Oh,
that
okay,
have been
right.
working, right? So like we don't have anything in common. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have much to talk about besides work.
So then what catalyzed you to just take the leap and just become a full-time musician?
So the weekends I would still be jamming with these bands at the
Mm,
bars and stuff like that. And
mm-hmm.
then I decided at some point that I wanted to go out on my own
Yeah.
and do some solo stuff. What happened was I would start playing like Thursday nights at this local restaurant, you know,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and they would pay me, I think it was $150 US dollars a night plus
Right.
tips. Soon enough, I would get like Wednesday night and like another maybe Friday night between like 3 or 4 days of me just playing music for just a
Yeah.
few hours a week. I was making with tips was about equal to what I was making as an engineer. Wait, the math doesn't add up. If I could just play music and just do that. If I worked harder at playing music and found more restaurants or more bars that would
Mm,
want me to perform, which it
yeah.
was happening, I was getting more and more inquiries like all the time.
I
And
love that you had kind of took the action to go try, live out your passion, but still
yeah,
follow the math. Yeah, people are just like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there, have no backup plan, and just kind of,
yeah.
live my passion, right? And then I'll figure things out. But then they might not even get paid for it, right? Because sometimes your passion
Yeah,
and your talent might be separate.
you're right. A lot of people will follow their passion without really thinking about what
Hmm.
how do you actually the reality of the situation. You still have to pay your
Yeah,
bills, you still have
yeah.
things,
Hmm.
you know, you still need to eat. But I was
Yeah.
able to still follow my passion, but I had
Hmm.
it grew. I grew my skills into a point where I could get paid for my skills back. I wish I would have quit my job
earlier,
maybe possibly a year, at least a year earlier, and it still would have been okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know anybody else that was doing it.
You're already living pretty an unconventional life. And what do you have to say to your audience to encourage them to kind of take the leap?
I think if you're an artist, you just
Yeah.
have to figure out how to, if you want to be full-time in what you're doing, you
Yeah.
have to figure out what people want. It's interesting because I kind of shift my focus from what I want to play to what people want to hear. And I think
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
difference. What I call my job,
Mm-hmm.
per se, is I sing and play cover songs to bring joy to people's lives. So
Yeah.
I always try to play songs that will move them. So if you're an artist of some sort, I think it's important to see art that can move people.
I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll be your fantasy.
And then eventually building an audience enough to you can introduce your own material.
This could be the start of something beautiful.
So it takes a building, but
give what people need, right? But in a unique way that resonates with you too, because you have to have fun in the process. Because if you don't, then like you're gonna burn out.
I get hired to play weddings a lot, and so in a wedding they want specific songs to be played. And I go like, so some of the songs aren't songs I would ever learn to play, but because it touches the hearts of the wedding couple, I will learn it to the best of my abilities and perform it with passion, and then they pay me.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you kind of almost learned Mandarin a little bit in Beijing.
Like this. 就相信感情被我再来一天，睡觉都在提前，安静在求着他。Do you know that one?
周杰伦，J 超。
Yeah, J 超。安静。
Yes, yeah.
对吧？找不到。你想你对我感动，我不sen谁。心上你陪着我，也就在瞬间。希望潮汐传递对我还有爱你，不再为彼此去离开。要往下的离开，根本不想分开。下午还有我有微笑来带后。我没人就当健康，宽容你也真实的，不用担心我太多，我也只好害羞，已经难能离开。Okay, I don't remember all of it. If you can be interactive with the artist, then that's what makes it special.
So where can the audience find you?
I think the easiest way is just my website at www.danielparkmusic.com. That's where they can find my live stream schedule, my original music releases. They can send me a message.
We'll put those information in the links in the description box below so people can follow you. Yeah,
okay,
I'm
great.
definitely already following you.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, thank you again.
You're welcome. Maybe one day we'll meet up on traveling or something.
For sure, that would be cool.
I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe yesterday.